Welcome to the Healing Wisdom Podcast this July 17th. I'm Pandora Peoples, and today we're speaking with Ken Field and Michael Holt of Woof, Woof, Meow. They're performing at the Wellfleet Preservation Hall July 20th at 7:30 p.m. We're also speaking with Jocelyn, Mackenzie, and Kristin Ford of Righteous Babe Records. They're performing with Rachel Sage in Wellfleet tonight at 7 p.m. It's pay what you wish. Picnicking is encouraged. There's limited seating, so bring your own chairs. The concert is at 3073 Route 6 in Wellfleet. That's 3073 Route 6 tonight in Wellfleet at 7 p.m. So this performance, July 20th at 7:30 at Prez Hall, is part of your album launch party for your new album, Dancy Pants. And in celebration of Dancy Pants, you're encouraging people to wear their most colorful, loud Dancy Pants. And you're going to have some for those who haven't brought them to wear for the evening. We've been listening to Nezalesnest off Dancy Pants. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Your album is extremely eclectic. Like from one song to the next, you never know what's coming. There are different lengths and you really mix it up, and you guys are very, very creative. And so some are more reggae style music, some are more funk, and a lot of them are like hybrid genre songs. So can you talk about how this album came to be?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that we also have ska and we have new wave, and we have one part of a song feels a little Afrobeat to me. The songs are written by me and Ken. I wrote 10 of them. Ken wrote 2 of them. And I think it's about half and half instrumentals and songs, or maybe there's like 5 instrumentals and 7 songs. What unifies it all is that it's dance music, and it's, I think, kind of retro dance music, like it's retro vibe, sort of 60s, 70s, 80s. There isn't really like a modern EDM electronic dance music vibe on this album, but there's a lot of, given our age, like the youngest member of the band is 40 and the oldest is like 73, I think. So we're harking back to those previous decades and the music that made us dance when we were younger and continues to make me dance. I mean, I at pretty much every show, the music pretty much forces me to come out from behind my keyboard and just start dancing because I find it very danceable. But that's not really answering your question. Your question was how the album came about. I don't know. You want to start a little bit on that, Ken, and I'll jump in.
Sure. Well, I think first of all, I think Michael is too modest to say, but his writing, from my perspective, is just so amazing. He writes in a variety of different styles, different rhythms, different grooves, and it's all music. It's all great music. And I'm thrilled to be a part of this project. with Michael and with such great musicians like Lisa Brown and Ricky Bates and Trevor Pearson. Just a ball to play this music. And it's creative music. It's really creative, and it really, and it is all over the map in some ways. I mean, it's unified in the ways that Michael mentioned, but I think that having that diversity of styles is great. I mean, it keeps everyone's interest, including mine, So I love that aspect to this band. And how it came about, well, Michael, somehow I ended up with Michael at a backyard party. I forget how we met, actually, Michael, but
we met because you were performing in the Churro Summer Concert Series.
Oh, right.
And I was on the committee putting on that series at the library in Churro.
Right.
And now you're on that committee, and I'm not.
Right. We've swapped. And Michael invited me to join him for a backyard concert, probably in Wellfleet or somewhere East Ham, I forget. And then after a little bit, a band started getting put together by Michael, and went through some different personnel, but the current personnel has been very stable, and it's a great bunch of people, not only musically, but personally, interpersonally.
Well, I guess also this isn't the direct answer to the question. I'm going to say a little bit more about how the band came together, not how the album came together. But the band, I'm writing a book about music, about how to have a more human relationship with music in a technological world. And I was writing a chapter about dancing. And because dancing is one way, one very human physical thing you can do with music, which could get you away from the screens and into a much more communal, joyous experience. And so I was writing all about this in a very intellectual way. And as I was writing about it, I was like, hey, I want to play dance music again, which I used to do when I was a teenager. I had a ska new wave band in the 80s called the Connotations. And for a long time, I've kind of longed to get back into music that's more physical, more rhythmic, more fun, more energy, high energy. So it was actually kind of writing a book about the topic that that motivated me to start the band. And it was also the end of COVID. It was like it was around COVID times, and people needed ways to get together. We were very isolated, and I also have an environmentalist part of me that's pretty strong. And so all these things kind of came together in my mind of like, hey, what I need to do is start a dance band to get people to come together at outdoor gatherings where it's safe and dance to celebrate the earth and increase our earth consciousness. And those things came together and started the band, and all our first several shows were at equinoxes and solstices, like the turnings of the seasons, to sort of in a neo-pagan way to dance for the earth. We've kind of moved away from that a little bit and are just enjoying playing whenever we can. And so we just kind of like, we'll now take whatever gig will pay enough to make it worthwhile for us. But we did do our last show at Prez Hall was indoors, and the energy inside was really wonderful. It was like, it was very contained, and all the people were together in the space, and everyone was dancing, and it was wonderful. So I'm looking forward to that kind of vibe again, especially with the crazy pants on everybody.
And the intention behind how you guys got together and your sort of putting your ideas into practice, there's nothing like music and dance to make a person present.
The band does run that course. A lot of Michael's music, he mentioned some of the songs have words and some don't. A lot of Michael's songs have a message, have a strong message, a healing wisdom message, if I might.
Oh, thanks, Ken.
And my songs are all instrumental. And I think there's healing in music, as you said, Pandora. And I think I feel like playing music and bringing joy and bringing sort of calmness, maybe dancing calmness, and of course also Dancy Pants to the public is something that's important. It's important for us as a community to gather and to be a community and have experience joy. That's how you can make change. You can't make change if you're sitting around all depressed. So, I guess it's hard not to be depressed, but it's important to gather and have that kind of joy.
Yeah, the best present we can give each other is presence and being with each other and appreciating and accepting and loving and enjoying life with each other.
Yeah, and it's great to, when you said that, I kind of felt like I was reminded how everybody shows up with what they have and with who they are. And it's not important to try to be something else or someone else. Like being present is about just bringing you. And if you don't think of yourself as a good dancer, just your presence is still gonna impact the event.
That's a relief for me to hear, Michael, because I don't think of myself as a good dancer.
Yeah.
So thank you.
But if you're there and you're engaged and you're listening and you're, or even just clapping, whatever, it makes subtle ripples that go out into the community, as Ken was saying. And it makes a difference. Absolutely. Everybody, every individual makes a difference. And plus, I think that I like to make a pitch for dancing on Cape Cod which is a place where, a lot of people don't dance, by just saying that, like it's really, dancing is not about looking amazing. It's about moving your body in the way that feels natural and spontaneous to you, letting the music move your body, even if it's just a little bit. That can be dancing. But also, if you don't want to dance at all, I think that our music has stuff to appeal to other aspects of not just the body, but also the mind. I mean, I think, and it's very intentional. Our music is really, the whole concept behind this band was to create music that is fun and physical and rhythmic and energetic, but also interesting and musically sophisticated. And that's why I brought Ken into the band. One of the many reasons, but because Ken has this whole deep jazz background, which he has a very deep, sophisticated musicality that he brings to the band, and I do too in a different way. And so, if you just sit there, that's what I found in this listening party. We weren't really dancing. We were just sitting there together as a band listening to this album that we've created. There's so much interesting stuff going on in the music. It's like a real amazing sonic painting. And on so many levels, different things are happening. So, yes, you don't have to come and dance. You can just listen and enjoy it that way.
You should wear Dancy Pants, though.
Yeah. Or wear our Dancy Pants.
Woof Woof Meow performs at Prez Hall on July 20th at 7:30. So doors open at 7 and tickets are available at wellfleetpreservationhall.org.
First you want to take it slow, second you're moving fast. You say we need to talk, then you're naked, making me laugh. Okay, I'm a ride or die, while you leave me high and dry. Friends say you won't last the night, 'cause you hit me with the whiplash. You say you love me, then you take it back. You break me off like a Kit Kat. While we're dancing, then you pause the track. You got me whipped with into a space. You always hit me with the whiplash. You say you love me, then you take it back. You break me off like a Kit Kat. Got me dancing and you pose the track. You got me whipped with your whiplash. The whiplash, whiplash. You got me whipped with your whiplash. You say you love me, then you take it back. You're breaking like a Kit Kat. While we dancing and you pose the track. You always with me with your whiplash, your whiplash, your whiplash. You got me whipped with your whiplash, the whiplash, whiplash. You got me.
That was Whiplash from Kristin Ford. She and Jocelyn, Mackenzie, and Rachel Sage are going to be performing today at 3073 Route 6 in Wellfleet. It's Pay What You Wish. Show starts at 7 p.m.
Hey, this is Kristin Ford. Thanks so much for having me on. So, yes, I am a queer, biracial, LA-based songwriter, and Whiplash is a very LA theme, and thank you for considering it catchy. The video was actually filmed just outside of a nudist colony, outside of San Bernardino. It was a very hot day, but hopefully we kept the glow at bay, so we could just glow in terms of our talent on screen. And it was pretty fun to work with this director, J.P. Riley. He's worked with some great artists like OK Go, Taylor Swift, Johnny Cash. Pretty mind-blowing stuff. But JP had some props from the Taylor Swift video, You Need to Calm Down, which was sort of her stance for gay rights. So it's pretty cool that he still had those props kicking around from when he was the AD on that video. So we got the green light from Team Tay to use some of her props. And then that was kind of I looked at her video and we tried to tie in as many elements from the You Need to Calm Down as we could for Whiplash. And, just this idea of love being on and then being off. And it was really great to work with this actor, Faith, who I think knocked it out of the park. She's a super kind person, but we look like we were really at each other's throats. So anyway, thanks for checking out Whiplash. And I do think it's pretty catchy. Okay, so your second question, what it's like to be in the under the rainbow flag at this time in America and what will get us through. Well, I mean, I have seen LA come under fire in more ways than one, and it seems to be always when I go on tour that the LA falls apart. So you should let the mayor know that it's me who's keeping it all together, and I'll take a stipend, no problem. And I think we've always had challenges, and I've been blessed to grow up surrounded by elder women who have blazed the trail, starting with June Millington. And then you could certainly say Ani Difranco was a big trailblazer. And, we've always had reasons to fight for our rights, and we've always had reasons to stand up for our community. But I hate to see one letter of the rainbow flag fighting with another letter during this time when we got to all stand together and have each other's backs. And absolutely, immigrants right now are on the front lines. So, as much as we can do to give back and to look after people and just ask questions, and also showing up and not just like doom scrolling on your couch is a big form of resistance. Go to shows, go be part of a community, go volunteer somewhere. Just getting into the mix is what we got to do right now. And also, thank God for music and for dancing and for cool little independent spaces where we can get together, and for music festivals and for albums that you can put on and flip them. And there's just so much to be grateful for. And I know that it's kind of a crazy time, but I think we're going to just smash this patriarchy. It might take a while, but we will. And yeah, I've just loved being on tour, seeing so much of America. I tour red states, I tour blue states. I have lived all kinds of places, and I just find it such a privilege to get to do what I do and connect with people and hopefully make their day a little bit better if they got some music. So anyway, thanks for the questions, and thanks for hooking it up right there on the Cape. I'm from Massachusetts, and it's going to be a really special night in Wellfleet. So anyway, have a great day. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Jocelyn Mackenzie, and thank you so much for having us. I'm on tour this summer with my bandmate and husband, Harry Bowles, and we are so excited to be doing a little New England tour this summer with Kristin Ford and Rachel Sage, and just really grateful to be here and play some shows in the Northeast. It's an awesome place to be, and especially in the summertime, so super excited about this tour. Thanks for asking about my work. So I'm a multidimensional artist. I am a musician, a performance artist. I make costumes, I do wearable art, and I'm also a psychic medium. And for me, those things are not separate. Everything is very integrated, so it's all very organic. And I don't really have a certain way of saying, oh, well, this thing is going to be for music, and this thing is going to be for mediumship, and this thing is going to be for art. It just kind of comes out, and it's just really up to me to be a midwife for the work. So I just kind of let the work flow through me, and a lot of times they're very integrated. So, for example, I do a lot of costumes for the music videos that I make. So I will make the costumes, I'll write the song, I'll produce the track, I'll produce the music video, and all because of a beautiful psychic vision that I had that I get to bring to life. So for me, those three things are not separate, and I feel really excited about any opportunity that I have to integrate them. And for me, singing is absolutely a form of channeling. I definitely feel like songs come through me fully formed through my psychic awareness. And so some people call that clairaudience. So we hear a lot about clairvoyance, which is to say spiritual seeing. But there's also clairs for every physical sense that we have. So for hearing, it would be clairaudience. So I heard a noise, or I heard music. Or you can have clairtangency, like I felt a physical touch, even though I wasn't being physically touched by someone. So for me, clairaudience has been how I've written songs for a really long time. And it wasn't until I became a medium that I came to understand that that's what was happening. So it was really a phenomenon that was happening to me long before I ever had a name for it. And then once I did have a name for it, it became really exciting to use that really deliberately and to channel that. And I definitely love doing that on stage, especially because I have this amazing band right now with Harry, who is such a talented guitar player. His soundscapes that he builds with all of his pedals, and he's playing bass with his feet, he's playing guitar with his hands, he's singing, and he has a whole ton of pedals that he uses, and he creates these gorgeous sonic landscapes for these songs that I never could have built by myself, just with my own skills as a percussionist and playing ukulele and a vocal loop pedal. I don't have the capacity to fill up a room in the same way that he does sonically. So to be supported by him with these beautiful sounds that he's creating and the musicality that he brings to each song, it really does allow me the ability to be in my body and to then channel these sounds and these songs through this other place that I go to that I don't fully understand, but definitely people in the room experience it and feel it along with me. And it's such a privilege because when I'm having to play instruments and accompany myself, I'm very focused on, getting the chords right and playing the instrument properly. But with Harry there by my side, he's just really filling out this beautiful song. And then I get to just be in my body and let the song take me, which is really where I prefer to be, honestly, on stage is to be present, but also to be in that interdimensional space between reality and some other realm. So it sounds a little esoteric, but I think for me, it just makes a lot of sense and it feels very organic and natural. And so I really get to live it up anytime I'm on stage with Harry. So this summer is no exception to that. And already so far, the tour has been really amazing and had some awesome shows. So I'm very stoked again to be here with Kristin Ford and Rachel Sage. And Kristin just put out a new record on our label, Righteous Babe Records, which is it's coming out in August actually, but she put out some singles. So it's really beautiful to hear her play those songs live. And yeah, we're just really excited to come to New England and share this beautiful music with you. And thanks so much for having me. Looking forward to everything that comes next, and especially taking a swim on the Cape while we're in town.
Thanks for listening to the Healing Wisdom Podcast. You can find this and other shows on iTunes, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts.